Hello, I would like to welcome everyone to the first Innovation Summit sponsored by Univar Solutions Global Home Care and Industrial Cleaning Team. My name is Aaron Lee. I'm the Global Vice President for the Home Care Industrial Cleaning Team at Univar Solutions. We're pleased to have you join us as we discuss sustainability and how some of our key suppliers are meeting the growing needs for sustainable cleaning formulations in the market. Today's panelists will discuss many of the key trends around sustainable cleaning and industry regulations. However, before we get started and introduce the panelists, we'd like to start the roundtable with a quick safety share. Today's safety share topic is about household chemical emergencies and how to handle products that may contain hazardous materials. Knowing how to handle household products containing hazardous materials or chemicals can reduce the risk of injury. Some of these items may be cleaning products and furniture polishes, pesticides, aerosol cans including hairspray or deodorants, nail polish and polish remover, along with many others. Please remember to store your hazardous products out of the reach from children and pets, and always read the label before application. In the unfortunate circumstance of believed ingestion, here are a few ways to recognize toxic shock. Is the person having difficulty breathing? Are they experiencing irritation of the eyes, skin, throat, or respiratory tract? Do they have changes in the color of their skin? Do they have blurred vision or headaches? Are they experiencing dizziness or lack of coordination? And are they having intestinal issues such as nausea or diarrhea? If you suspect someone is experiencing toxic shock and is exhibiting these symptoms, please call your local emergency authorities and follow their instructions very carefully, as the advice on containers may be out of date or inaccurate. Do not give anything to the person experiencing symptoms unless instructed to do so by a medical professional. It's Univar Solutions' pleasure to have some key leaders in the cleaning market joining us today as part of the Innovation Roundtable. Our discussion will be led by Brian Sansone from the American Cleaning Institute. Brian serves as the Senior Vice President at ACI. The American Cleaning Institute is an industry organization that represents producers of household, industrial, and institutional cleaning products, their ingredients, and distribution. Brian has been part of ACI since 2000. He has had past appearances on NBC Nightly News, The Today Show, Fox, CNN, and others. However, I think today's appearance is sure to go down as one of his all-time favorites. Brian, thank you for joining and leading as the moderator for today's important discussion around sustainability. We're also being joined by the Vice President of Sales and Marketing from the Cal Corporation, Mr. Jordi Ruiz. With 25 years of commercial and technical experience in household cleaning, Jordi has spent the past 5 years with Cal, and we are grateful to have him with us today. So welcome, Jordi. Next, we have the Business Director from Dow Industrial Solutions, Ms. Lauren James. Lauren runs a $2 billion specialties portfolio at Dow, and she's had 18 years of varied experience and spent 3 of those years in Shanghai. Thank you for joining the panel, Lauren. We also have Christophe Cartier, who joins us from Solvay. He is the Marketing Director for Home and Personal Care. He has split his time with Solvay equally in Europe and the US, spending 6 years in each geography. He also worked at Arkema for 10 years, and we're glad to have you join us, Christophe. From Lanxess, we are pleased to have the Vice President of Marketing and Technology, Ms. Kelly Pippin. In her role, Kelly leads marketing, R&D, product compliance, and stewardship. She has over 20 years of technical and commercial experience and holds several patents. Good day, Kelly. And last but not least, I would like to welcome the Director of Laundry from Novozymes, Mr. Carlos Ocampo. Carlos has several leadership positions at Novozymes and previously worked as a consultant at McKinsey for 10 years. So hello, Carlos. Wow, we just really have a distinguished panel today, and I'm really looking forward to the discussion around sustainability. I will now hand it over to Brian Sansone to get the discussion started. So take it away, Brian.
Thank you very much, Aaron, and it is great to talk with so many experts from ACI member companies. So let's get right into our discussion, as we have a lot of interesting topics to cover. Understandably, priorities have shifted for many of us over the past year and a half, mainly because of the pandemic. So Kelly Pippin of Lanxess, let me start with you. What is driving your company's innovations right now during these challenging times?
Yeah, so we've seen, like everybody, it's been quite a year for all of us. And we've really seen that COVID and the pandemic has changed consumer buying habits. So people are much more aware of the importance of cleaning and hygiene, much more than they ever were before. And really high growth in home care sales. With all of that increased cleaning, that really means that the exposures are also higher. So there's also more potential for adverse reactions. And what we've seen is that this increased use, increased exposure, and increased awareness has really shifted consumers who were already going towards greener products. It's accelerated that effect. We've seen that cleaning products are really becoming lifestyle products. People are shopping for those products based on their values. And this is apparent in the growth of various green label certifications like EPA Safer Choice. And so we've matched this with our company's expertise in preservation. The market really is looking for preservative solutions that are sustainable and effective. And so this has been a major driver for the innovations that we've worked on with these changing consumer behaviors. Just a couple of examples. One is that we've widened the preservative palette available to formulators by registering new preservatives under the biocidal regulations. We've also developed extensive applications data so that our customers can optimize their formulations for this new green criteria that customers are really driving towards. What we see overall is that there's really a compounded effect between what the consumers are desiring, as well as the regulatory demands that are placed upon, placed upon the industry. So as an example, consumers are starting to pay a lot more attention to what ingredients are in their products and what ingredients they're bringing into their homes. And this attention then drives regulatory changes where you get increased transparency and increased requirements about publicating what's on the in your formulations. So these effects essentially build on one another and continue to accelerate this consumer desire for greener lifestyle products. And so this is really the compounded effect that drives the innovation for our organization, Brian.
So indeed, companies like yours, the companies on this panel, they provide critical ingredients and chemistries for the global cleaning product supply chain. So Lauren James with Dow, tell us, what is your organization doing to drive enhancements and improvements in the cleaning market today?
Yeah, Brian, thank you. And I think that Kelly was touching on, certainly it's been a very dynamic 18 months, both from, just seeing the kind of demand changes in terms of what consumers are buying, but also we've had tremendous challenges on the supply side with the shipping constraints and also kind of weather events with the freeze on the U.S. Gulf Coast and most recently a hurricane. And so we've had a lot to work with in the last 18 months. It's been fairly dynamic, but I would say there's 4 areas we've really tried to focus in on in terms of cleaning at Dow. And so first would be, despite all of the uncertainty in the last year and a half, we've really continued to push forward with our asset investment. And so we are building a new alkoxylation facility on the U.S. Gulf Coast that will start up mid next year and bring new surfactants into the market. And so that's full speed ahead, and we're very excited to do that. I would say second is we have accelerated some of our product launches. So we launched EcoSurf LFE 1410 and Turgatol 17R2. And so those, trying to continue to bring new products for our customers to use in their formulations. Third, I would say is we're really focused on, our long-term roadmap in this space, both in terms of product roadmap, but also kind of asset roadmap. And so we're shaping kind of where do we invest for the future. And frankly, that's still ongoing. So for those out there that have a wish list, please work with your Dow account manager to make sure we hear your input in terms of what capabilities you're looking for. And then fourth, I would highlight that we have focused in terms of cleaning of just trying to advance digital. So we've made a number of upgrades to our digital presence on our Dow.com website and trying to help help our customers make better and more informed choices by being transparent. So our focus has been, some product-driven advancements, asset and digital all across the cleaning market.
Lauren touched upon this a little bit. We've all had to address the impacts of COVID-19 and extreme weather events. So Carlos Ocampo of Novozymes, let me ask you this. What proactive measures are being taken from where you sit to prepare for the next supply chain disruption?
So yeah, this is a very important topic for our customers and for ourselves. A detergent is really a high performance, low cost product that is a mix of many different ingredients that really rely on a supply chain that works well. And we've seen over the last 18 months how that can have a big impact when the supply chain doesn't work that well. So we definitely are very focused on that. And the first thing that we did, and that's something that has been ongoing for many years, is to make sure that many of our products are qualified in many of our locations. And that actually allowed us in the middle of this pandemic to switch production from one location to the other. So when the core of the pandemic was in China, our plants in the US and in Europe ramped up. And when the pandemic shifted to the other locations, our Chinese colleagues really took up some of the additional capacity. So as a result, we actually had an impressive results. We only had 2.8% of our shippings that were delayed in the worst period of the pandemic. And I'm sure that when the next disruptions come, we will be in the same situation, ready to help our customers and help them with the volumes that they are not able to get from someone else. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do it next time.
Let's shift gears a bit and focus on the continued demand for sustainable chemistry and products. So Christophe Cartier with Solvay, what does green and sustainability mean to your business today?
Yeah, thank you, Brian, for the question. So it means a lot, as we have all, we believe, a role to play, as we know that the planet reaches limits. So we have an agenda to connect the dots between our business and sustainability. This agenda has been refreshed 2 years ago with our new CEO. And this new program is called Solvay One Planet and is designed around 3 pillars: climate, resources, and better life. So in each pillar, objectives have been selected as they are the most impactful for the planet. But instead of entering in the details of each pillar, I would like to give you 2 concrete examples. On climate, Novecare, which is a business unit where I belong to, has 25 plants around the world. Each of these plants now only use renewable energy. You may imagine that it has a dramatic effect on our CO2 emission. On better life, I would like to share with you our sustainable sourcing program around guar. Guar is a natural source of polymers where Novecare is a leader in guar derivatives. Our sustainable guar initiatives has created a cooperative that helps to empower the women farmers in India. And the benefit are the guar farmers who have where we have both sustainable farming practices, more programs on nutrition, on health, and on hygiene. This has driven some significant additional revenues for the farmers, and obviously has increased the supply chain of guar and the security of supply, which we know is super important for our customers. So every product, every solutions we offer our customers are scrutinized around this Solvay One Planet program. For that, internally, we have developed a matrix that includes, for example, a lifecycle analysis, where all our products are discussed with our customers, and also this assessment was also the way to embrace the future. Last but not least, I would like to finished with an exciting program we are launching in our home care business, which is a new sustainable platform where we will assess all our existing solutions, all the new solutions, in order to find a sustainable solution for the home care business. So this is exciting, and this obviously will help to push new solutions to our customers.
And let's stay focused on this theme surrounding demand for sustainable products and chemistry. So let me direct this question to Jordi Ruiz with Cal. What are your company's key initiatives right now to bring greener alternatives to the marketplace?
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for the question. This is an ongoing and not always easy process. A couple of years ago, when we were finishing our 2020 cycle and we starting to move into our K25 midterm plans, our business units, we went deeper in the analysis of our product portfolio. At that time, Cal Corporation was launching our new ESG strategy with Kirei. Kirei is a Japanese word that means beautiful or clean. And not only on the outside, but also on the inside. For us at Cal, Kirei is the value that we want to bring to everybody's life with our brands, products, and services. Beginning of this year, our new president and CEO, Hasebe-san, made very clear that sustainability is the only path. This is including Kirei, providing care and enrichment for the life of all people on the planet. With this important background, we have started to move touching more specific and tangible things. So during our deep portfolio analysis, we have taken in consideration customer needs, demands, and despite it's difficult and not easy, we are planning also to go beyond customer expectations on this specific subject. So basically, based on product feedstock, product design, and production technology behind, we have started an internal assessment on our product portfolio, and based on a sort of greenness degree or naturality index. In one extreme, we can consider the all petrochemical derivatives that needs to be fully renewed very shortly, while in the other side, we can find the new biosurfactants that are based on natural and renewable resources and are obtained through biochemical reactions and also includes superior performance. We can talk about glycolipids, rampanolipids, sulforolipids, and families like these ones. So clearly, our latest developments and launches are working to support new green materials and are adapted to the new consumer demands, accelerating the new developments based also on the customer's needs and how critical the new surfactants could be for them. So exciting news is that early next year, we are launching 2 new materials already on industrial trials to support what we are talking right now. And for sure, to reach this point, we are working through internal research or corporate research resources, but also with external projects and partnerships. I hope this can make sense for our customers.
Great insights, definitely appreciate that. So Kelly Pippin with Lanxess, what about your company's focus on greener alternatives coming to the market?
Yeah, so it's important to understand and for our company to understand the real world market needs for sustainability. And I think Jordi and Christophe both gave already a nice window into the various elements that are important in sustainability. So as an example, biodegradability, ethical sourcing, carbon footprint, and water footprint. These are all considerations in sustainability. And what Lanxess does is work closely with our customers to form innovation partnerships where we focus on their brand alignment to these various elements of sustainability. Our current focus at Lanxess is green preservation, as well as multifunctionals. Preservation itself is actually very important for sustainability, although it often isn't recognized as such. But really, effectively preserved products have much longer shelf lives and really help to reduce both waste and energy use. But beyond that, our focus is on maintaining this important aspect of preservation, but also in providing new and green preservative options, which are non-allergenic, readily biodegradable, as well as nature identical. So as an example, we invested in new biocidal registrations for sodium benzoate under EPA FIFRA. So that enables the marketplace to use this product as a new preservative and a more sustainable option. We're also looking at alternative raw material sources for our products, which don't rely on carbon sources from fossil fuels. And I think there's a lot more to come in this area of innovation. But really also what we see is that innovation is not just about using new ingredients or about alternative raw materials. It's also about how you formulate with these chemistries in new ways. And so, for an example, we've researched and also helped our customers with implementing greener surfactants in their formulations, which then, when combined with our Caloguard sodium benzoate, creates a more robust and biodegradable formula overall. Another example is developing multifunctionals, such as 3PP, which are nature identical, highly biodegradable, and can boost preservation power while enhancing the cleaning and also lowering the energy use in manufacturing. Overall, we see greener alternatives as really exciting area for us, and we tend to get sort of geeked out when we talk about formulating home care products and helping our customers to implement these next generation of home care products.
So indeed, cleaning products and chemistries have become more vital than ever, and that was certainly proven during the pandemic. So I want to ask about how companies are investing in the future of cleaning. So Lauren James with Dow, what can you share with us on that topic?
Yeah, Brian, thank you. And certainly, I think very similar to the themes you're hearing from all the other participants, we are squarely focused on sustainability. If I look across our specialty chemicals platform, more than 90% of our innovation portfolio is solving sustainability challenges for our customers, both in cleaning and all other markets. And so it's certainly in our DNA to help solve those challenges, and so we will continue to do that. But some of the other things we're doing beyond just our innovation portfolio is really trying to help drive some transparency and help our customers really drive their formulations. And so we've kind of consistently try to survey our customers about what their interest is and what they want. And just slightly before COVID, one of the recurring themes that we heard was just understanding of how to navigate some of the disclosure, the right to know, the 1,4-dioxane laws. And so we've tried to focus a lot on driving transparency in our portfolio on what our offering is and how we can help customers meet those requirements. We have published kind of very clear 1,4-dioxane guidelines on our website, so customers know exactly what the specifications of our products and how they can work it into their formulas. We also have been kind of refreshing our base formulations with zero VOC formulas to help customers that are really focused around VOC and help them formulate. Thirdly, I would say we've, was mentioned earlier, kind of clean ingredients. We've published very clearly which of our products meet that specification. And then I would say, lastly, is we're really trying to focus also in the transparency domain on lifecycle assessment. So this is the LCA process, which is an independent third party that's validating, those sustainability claims. So we went ahead and did a lifecycle assessment against our EcoSurf EH product against an NP9, which really did validate, strong sustainable benefits. And so certainly we will always continue to innovate here. That's in our DNA, but also we're trying to help drive transparency and enable our customers to really formulate to solve these kind of sustainability and regulatory needs.
So Carlos Ocampo, what can you tell us about Novozymes' investment in the future of cleaning?
Yes, so we believe that in the future, like in the present, really, there are three fundamental dimensions that one needs to deliver across, and that is providing a great cleaning experience, consistently affordable cost, and definitely, as we heard before, improve sustainability. And I think we're investing in all three places. So on the need to deliver a great cleaning experience, well, that's always been a dimension that we've been focused on. And clearly with COVID, consumer concerns for health and hygiene, for basic protection really, have become all more important. So we keep investing, bringing new benefits, new claim to the market. And a very good example is our freshness technology that helps remove the body grime and thereby improving the consumer scent experience, but also ensuring a deep hygienic cleaning. So performance and cleaning experience is one aspect. That cannot come at any cost though. Cleaning is a basic need that needs to be delivered at a competitive price point. And the last 2 years have shown how the volatility in prices of traditional detergent ingredients can be. And we believe this situation creates multiple opportunities for reformulating around more enzymes. And therefore, we are investing in our own formulation capabilities to improve the dialogue with our customers around reformulations and to be able to bring more relevant concepts to the table. Affordable performance, so the first 2 points is not enough. More and more, it's clear that whether it's because of regulation, consumers, or the companies themselves establishing a new norm, products need to be continuously better for the people and for the planet. And we believe we can be an enabler. We believe we are an indispensable enabler of the sustainability transition, really. And therefore, we really invest a lot of resources in this. So yes, in some cases, enzymes help drive that transition in their own right. I think a very well-known example is that enzymes typically allow for colder temperature washes, and we keep investing in that area because that's how you save a lot of CO2 in washing at lower temperature. But also we are launching products that can replace fossil ingredients. We are launching a cellulase that helps replace some persistent polymers, such as polycarboxylates, while keeping the whiteness benefits. So let's say that's one part where the enzymes by themselves bring the benefit. However, this transition, this green transition poses a problem that is really too large for any of us around this table to solve. This cannot be solved ingredient by ingredient. So we are really also focusing on developing enzymes that enable other sustainable ingredients. And we like to collaborate with people across the board. When they bring their new ingredients, they may have cost performance gap that actually enzymes can help address. Enzymes have an infinite diversity, and we can go after specific gaps that new ingredient classes may create. And we believe, therefore, that it's important for us to invest in that. Not only looking at the enzymes as an ingredient in itself, but in combination with other ingredients. So it's an invitation for everyone to collaborate, and definitely also to collaborate with our customers to make sure that we can reimagine the products of tomorrow.
Many of your companies have to deal with a wide range of certifications around the globe. So, Jordi Ruiz, how does Cal address those challenges today?
Okay, thanks, Brian. This is very relevant for us when managing global certifications. We are a company that combines different divisions like consumer goods and also the chemical business where I'm belonging. And I have to tell you very clear that as Cal, we are fully committed to the society and the planet as one of the key principles. So in 2005, Cal declared the support to the United Nations Global Compact principles, and in the areas of the human rights, labor, environment, and anti-corruption practices. So being a little bit more specific, I can also say that we are very proud with the different external evaluations and certifications that we hold, and that we renew year after year. And we are in some of them, we are in a leading position. So for example, since it was created in 2007 by US Ethisphere, we are in the list of the most ethical companies in the world, recognizing outstanding performance on the areas of transparency and sincerity and compliance. Also for years, we have been participating in the CDP, the Carbon Disclosure Program Initiative, but in 2020, Kao has been selected for inclusion on the A list for climate change, forest, and water management. So just 10 companies around the world out of close 6,000 firms that have been evaluated were selected for a AAA. So developed by US Bloomberg to track companies' performance on transparency in gender reporting and advanced women globally, we have been included in the Bloomberg Gender Equality Index for the past few years. And also it's remarkable that since 2014, we are a member of the Dow Jones Sustainability Index that analyze corporate activities based on the economics, environmental, and social factors, selecting companies with outstanding sustainability performance. So I think that's also remarkable. And just a last example, EcoVadis, the French platform that is assessing and monitoring social and environmental activities, for Kao has been rated gold for the last few years. But in 2021, we moved to the exclusive platinum category with only 1% of selected companies. So I think that these are only a few examples about how the important activities we are doing for a better life and better planet. That most important is that our customers value and enjoy working with us. So that's really a key message on that. So I hope this can answer your question, Brian.
Thanks very much for those insights, Jordi. Something we touched upon a little earlier is a reality for all of our companies having to monitor and prepare for ongoing or upcoming regulations, whether it's related to 1,4-dioxane in the US or titanium dioxide regulations in other markets and everything in between. So, Christophe, I'm curious as to how Solvay addresses those challenges in this day and age.
Thank you, Brian. And as you said, I guess this is a reality for everyone around this table. So we have different channels where we can monitor our regulations. Obviously, internally, our product stewardship, our government affairs are in constant touch with various authorities to understand the new regulations. Externally, we obviously discuss on a regular basis with our customers. That's a very nice source of information too. But I would say this is probably not enough, and we need sometimes to be more proactive. I will take one example, which I believe will resonate with everyone. It's around palm oil, RSPO, mass balance. We have decided in 2020 to join an association called ASD, Action for Sustainable Derivatives, which is a coalition between some of our customers, some of our competitors, and then join our forces to improve traceability on palm oil, better monitor future governance, and so indirectly impact the farmers on the ground. So I think this is a very interesting example. Back to your example, Brian, on the 1.4 dioxane. We have been working on this subject for the last years. As you know, this new regulation will become true at the end of 2022. So we have in the last year assessed all our products, discussed with our customers also to understand their key targets, and investigated on different ways to be in this new regulation. So we have taken the decision, supported by our management, to invest, for example, in a new stripper in our plant close to Chicago who makes sulfate. And in order to be ready in the next weeks and to be inside this new implementation. This will give some time and will allow us, our customers, to be fully ready at the end of next year.
Thanks, Christophe, for sharing those insights. Again, challenges all of the companies around the table have to face. So I'm going to turn the microphone over now to Aaron Lee with Univar, who has some additional insights to share and questions to ask. Aaron?
Yeah, thanks, Brian. So I've been monitoring some of the questions that have come in from the audience. And the first one that I'd like to address is, can you speak to your company's efforts around minimizing energy waste? And if you don't mind, I'll maybe take this one first, but this is important to Univar Solutions. You know, we're committed to reducing our energy consumption and reducing our non-hazardous waste. And actually, we have targets for 2021. We're looking to reduce our energy use and emissions by 15% from our 2016 baseline, and looking to reduce our non-hazardous waste by the same amount. So at Univar Solutions, at chemical distribution, we're really committed to sustainability and actually minimizing waste and energy consumption. So I know some other panelists would like to maybe answer some of these questions, and I see that Christophe's raising his hand from Solvay. So Christophe, you want to take this one?
Yes, sure, with pleasure. So I mentioned earlier that Novecare business unit has switched to renewable energy. This has a concrete result by reducing our greenhouse by 8% in the last 3 years. But we have also targets for the next years, which is to reduce by 26% our greenhouse gas emissions. And this will be aligned with the 2 degrees temperature increase from the Paris Agreement, which was signed in 2015. So this is very simple targets we have and that we will implement in the next years.
Thanks, Christophe. I see that Jordi has raised his hand digitally as well. So any thoughts from Cal on this one, Jordi?
Yeah, well, just what I can say is that clearly Cal is also looking on very deeply on this situation, and has fully committed that we want to be zero CO2, zero emissions by 2040 and become carbon negative by 2050. And related what Christophe was mentioning, we want to upgrade the 2C target certification that it was awarded before to Cal in 2019, if I'm not wrong, and we want to move to the 1.5C. So this is we signed the 1.5 business ambition initiative, and I think that this is a step forward on that. So we want to also, we are joining RI 100, that this is an international program that brings together different large business that are committed to 100% renewable electricity in the next years. So that's a bit a few of the initiatives that Cal is doing on that.
Thanks, Jordi. That's great. I also saw that Kelly would like to give some thoughts. So Kelly?
Yeah, thanks. I think this is an important topic. So we all wanna chime in with some insights here about our companies. At Lanxess, we have a very ambitious goal to be climate neutral by 2040. And we have really in that spelled out 7 key areas for our sustainability progress, of which energy efficiency and energy usage is one of the very key components. And so specifically, we have a goal to increase energy efficiency by 40% when we compare versus 2015 as the base year. And when we look at our most recent figures, we show that our energy usage is already almost half of what it was in 2015. We also, when we're required to use energy, we shift as much as possible towards green energy. So an example of that is using waste to steam strategy in our Rotterdam facility. We also work to think about how we can use chemistry to minimize energy use throughout a product's lifespan. That's not only goes into our products, but also those of our customers. So it's certainly an important area for, I think, probably all of our companies on the phone here.
Great, thanks, Kelly. I didn't see anybody else raise their hand, but anybody else would like to take this question? Okay, so we have another one that came in. It says, where do you see the marketplace demand relative to label claims? And if you don't mind, I'll maybe take this one first. When I think about consumers, and really with the pandemic, I think the first concern of consumers were the efficacy of a product, and does it clean, does it actually disinfect? I think consumers still want green, but they also want to make sure that it works and does what it says it does, and is also at the right price point. And this question also got me thinking about some work that the American Cleaning Institute has done. And Brian, a couple of years ago, we did some research with the future leaders, and I was fortunate to be a part of that. And some key feedback from the research around consumers and label claims was about 34% of consumers actually will read the labels and want to be informed. So it's important for consumers. Ingredient information is actually perceived as goodwill and transparency from the brands. And actually consumers appreciate the primary ingredient function on labels, and it really helps them understand the formulations and creates trust with the product. So I think this is a good question, and there are some marketplace demands around label claims. So that's just some input I have from Univar Solutions. I see that Jordy, you've raised your hand. Would you like to take this question as well?
Well, yeah, I can say that what we have observed is that more and more customers and users are asking for additional claims, for additional needs. So, and as we have been discussing over the last hour, there is claims around environment, claims about regulatory. Christoph was mentioning 1.4 dioxane arriving. We talked about hygiene, disinfection that was going high during the pandemic, or especially beginning of last year. So that's not easy to cope everything when we are global companies, because sometimes claims could be differentiated by regions, or sometimes or specific customer needs to be fulfilled in a given region. So what we are working and we are monitoring at COW is very closely how this is evolving, and we are trying to be fully aligned on what the customer and the end users are looking for on the different regions. And for sure, always claims have to be fully substantiated on that. So that's an important piece as well.
Great, thanks, Jordy. Didn't see any other hands raised. Does anybody else want to comment?
Yeah, I can echo.
Oh, go ahead, Carlos.
Okay. No, I can echo what I've heard until now. Definitely over the past 2 years, and from times before, we could see the claims around hygiene and the claims around green really picking up. So I think these two aspects are important.
Kelly, did you?
Yeah. No, totally agree with all of the statements and with what Carlos just said. And we also see these increasing claims as consumers go this direction. But we see a little bit of distinction between positive statements like, something that is biodegradable or safer choice, and negative statements that come from, free from label claims. And so, we also do work with a lot of the industry associations because it is important also to drive consumer awareness about what is on the labels, what those label claims mean, and to keep consumer awareness and education about our home care products and ingredients high. So we see labeling as certainly something that continues to be important, and right alongside that is our efforts in the industry to help consumers be educated about what these labels are telling them.
Great, thanks, Kelly. Anyone else?
Aaron, I'll just comment very similar to Kelly's comment. We see the importance of education, and that's part of the reason, like I mentioned, we've focused on life cycle assessments to help bring that consumer understanding, of the bigger picture sometimes, and the importance of having all of the different variables in the equation. And so also from Dow, we're focused a lot on that education and understanding to help, evolve the market.
Great, thanks, Lauren. Anyone else? All right, well, I think we have time for maybe one last question here. And I think this question is probably front of mind for our audience, because actually Carlos had a real nice answer earlier around this, but the question was around the audience liking to know what are the other companies doing to prepare for the next supply chain disruption. I guess it must be front of mind from the winter storm, Hurricane Ida, and the common disruptions we see in the chemical industry due to weather. And I'll take it first, but Univar Solutions, I think we're in a leading position as a chemical and ingredient distributor. That's part of our role. We have the infrastructure at our different sites across the globe, and part of our job is holding the inventory and assisting our customers to get through supply disruptions like the winter storm that we had back in February and Hurricane Ida that recently hit. There's been a lot of carrier disruptions, so we have our own company-owned fleet and third-party logistics. So we're really in a good position to hopefully bridge any gaps between our suppliers and customers. And then, finally, we're a technically industry-focused sales organization. So we have lab capabilities at our solution centers across the globe and technical support with our technical managers, our application development specialists that can hopefully help out our customers to reformulate if they need to around key ingredients that might become short in supply. So we have kind of a unique space as a technical distributor of ingredients and chemicals, and hopefully we can play a small part during supply disruptions. I see that Lauren from Dow has her hand raised. Do you want to add some thoughts?
Sure, Aaron, happy to. Certainly Dow has a tremendous footprint on the U.S. Gulf Coast, and so for decades we've dealt with events like hurricanes, but I think, first and foremost, Dow is always 100% focused on safety, and we're very proud of that, right? And so, ensuring the safety of our employees and our communities as these events happen is always priority. But I think, certainly we learned from every one of these events. This year has been particularly challenging, as you indicated, where it was such a tremendous hit on the industry when you look at the freeze. So a few things I would highlight that we continue to evolve our ability to do better is, one is really kind of looking at that single source of failure from an integrated value chain, being, do we have the right safety stocks for our raw materials, also for the inventory we're holding for our customers, and so we're kind of fine-tuning that. But I would also highlight, we've really been on a strong focus on digital and just retooling our kind of planning and allocation process to enable us to really communicate much more effectively with our customers when these events hit, but also give them visibility. So, for example, before the most recent hurricane that went through Louisiana, we were able to proactively reach out to customers and let them know for safety we were shutting down, and kind of, proactive impact, which, our customers certainly appreciate, because it helps give them a lens on what, how we can work with them to mitigate impact to their operations. But also, we have lots of capabilities most recently for customers to do things like track their order shipment online, and all of these things that bring better visibility to enable our customers in the integrated chain to help plan ahead for when these events happen. And so certainly there's always, to mitigate the impact, but also have agility when they do happen, that we can recover as fast as possible and keep everyone's operations running as best as possible.
Great, thanks, Lauren. I think you brought up a really important topic. Safety on all the panelists is very important to our organizations, and thank you for bringing that up. Any other comments around this question? All right, well, I think that's all the time we have for questions. I really want to thank the panelists and the attendees. I think it's really a tremendous conversation around sustainability, and really that's all that's being done by the panelists and their companies in the cleaning market. Univar Solutions, we also continue to invest in meeting our sustainability goals for 2025. We focus on energy and emissions, resource use, spill elimination, safety, and most importantly, strengthening our key stakeholder engagement. So really key stakeholders on this call and all the panelists here, so appreciate your time. I really appreciate all you've done to help us meet our sustainability goals and to become a leading chemical and ingredient distributor. I'd like to thank Brian for being the moderator today, and our panelists, Lauren, Kelly, Jordy, Christoph, and Carlos for joining us and discussing your sustainability journey. We hope you enjoyed this Innovation Summit focused on sustainability, and that hope you join us for future installments in 2022. So thank you for your time.